infinite, but there's like 8 billion people or 9 billion people on the planet. Literally, we can actually include as many people as are capable in, of getting a wallet in an organization to have a say and to benefit from the work product of an organization. So very excited about the space and using Web3 for more than just speculating on currencies and making $270 million on a pizza. That's good too. That's okay. So that's basically the intros, and we thought we would start things off with in the ZK world. Who knows what ZK stands for? All right, so zero knowledge. Reminds me of a very Buddhist philosophy of like, just don't know, zero knowledge. It's like a safety zone for me. But let's talk about, like, we're eating pizza. We have our favorite toppings, but what if we want to put that out to the world, but not everybody in the world? How can we have like a zero knowledge proof of things that we're doing, allow certain companies, certain individuals to have certain access to these things that are provable? And we think cryptography and zero knowledge is one of those other things, besides creating organizations in the blockchain space, being able to create these proofs using digital signatures. We want to really explore that space and build the entire network and community with the knowledge and the applications that are possible with crypto and blockchain. So let's start again at the end and talk about, like, how could we implement ZK as it pertains to pizza?
As it pertains to
I just,
pizza. All right.
I just want to say that I felt really triggered when you said the word zero and pizza in the same sentence. Scary. Don't do that. But the P stands for pizza. You said zero and pizza in the same sentence. It's not okay.
Which means there's no,
like
pizza.
No pizza.
Exactly.
Continue, I'm sorry.
So
it's more like just don't know how much pizza you consumed. But maybe somebody can.
So yeah, it's probably a little bit tricky to explain it in the context of pizza, but basically one of the many things that we do at HyperOracle is that we help with, like, basically scaling computation off chain, and we use zero knowledge proofs for that. So maybe first of all, I can start and explain what a zero knowledge proof is and use like an easy example, and maybe I'll find an analogy that kind of fits into the realm of pizza. But I think the easiest way to understand what a zero knowledge proof is if you think of like one of these Where's Waldo images, or we could think about this room here as well, right? Because there are like a lot of people in this room, and the person with the orange beanie is the Waldo in this example because sorry for picking you, it fits really well. So I know where the person with the orange beanie sits, and I have a picture of that person with the orange beanie on my phone, which I can show you. So I can prove that the person is inside this room. However, by just showing the picture of that person sitting in this room, I'm not revealing her exact location. I'm not telling you where exactly the person is sitting, but I can prove that I know that the person with the orange beanie is here and probably eating pizza. So that's in essence one way of looking how a zero knowledge proof is working. So it's kind of an abstraction of a piece of information where you can prove that you know something without giving it away. And I think one of the very prominent use cases for that is privacy, so that you can say, hey, I'm going to a bar, they're going to ID me, and I'm not going to give away my data and my information. I'm just going to prove to them that I'm old enough to drink. However, there are a lot of other cool things you could do with zero knowledge proofs. I think another dominant one is probably for scaling when it comes to Ethereum transactions. So there are like a lot of different L2 rollups that are ZK rollups. So basically, they use that abstraction aspect to abstract away the kind of transactions that are happening in that L2 environment. And they just put the final proof back on the main chain, on the Ethereum chain, to prove that indeed these other transactions have happened without actually showing the entire transaction history. Yeah, and at HyperOracle, we do something fairly similar, which focuses on doing off-chain computation, where we can also prove that a computation has happened off-chain without redoing the whole computation back on-chain. So it's a way to kind of synthesize things. That's probably how you can think about it in a more simplistic way. You can synthesize the essence of something and show someone the essence of something without telling them the whole story once again. So,
So is
yeah.
that, if I was two, is that a way of saying, because I kind of am kind of like two, is that a way of saying, like if I see a commercial that says, "What's in your wallet?" and then everybody in crypto goes like, "I know what the fuck is in everybody's wallet." Like maybe that's not true anymore, or potentially not
Exactly.
true.
Yeah. So there are two projects that are working on this. One would be Manta Network. The other one would be Anoma, and they're working on like shielded ways of like not because you probably all have heard of Tornado Cash, which is a way to launder your launder your money
Launder's not a good
or
word.
make donations without a trace. But yeah, Manta Network and Anoma are working on a way to make any type of asset anonymous. So you could also end up with like shielded treasury pools, for example, or you could have an anonymous wallet as well eventually with that, which is going to be really cool because I mean, like our bank accounts are anonymous. So why shouldn't our crypto wallets be anonymous as well, right?
We're kind of used to privacy, like almost
Exactly.
like privacy is a thing, like it
Yeah.
actually exists.
Privacy is normal.
The illusion.
That's really great. That was an amazing explanation of zero knowledge proofs. One of the projects that I'm excited about in the ZKP space is the Mina protocol. Mina is a zero knowledge rollup blockchain that exists in only 22 kilobytes of memory. Now, many of you know that the Ethereum blockchain is large, and to run an entire node on the Ethereum blockchain takes about a terabyte of space. I might be wrong on that number, but it's big. You need a lot of gigabytes just to keep all the state that is stored in all the smart contract transactions on the Ethereum network in order to mine. This makes mining very expensive, and it also makes contracts very expensive. The number one cost for gas is often the contract storage, because that data that you keep on a blockchain, such as your token balance or your NFT ownership, the record that says you own something, is stored on a blockchain. And because of that, because it's in contract storage, every node on the Ethereum blockchain has that data. It is hugely redundant. It takes up a lot of space. It's very reliable because the data, there are a million copies of it and it's going to be there forever. But it's very expensive and it's very slow. With some zero knowledge rollup chains like Mina, it's all of a sudden possible to store an assertion about what the state is without keeping track of that entire state on every node. So all of a sudden, it becomes possible to keep the state of the blockchain or a proof of the state of a blockchain in as little as 22 kilobytes.
So let me just ask a question though. Couldn't I just have a hash of the blockchain up to a certain point, and that would reduce the terabyte requirement, or what's the, or could I not be a node because that wouldn't qualify?
A hash can be a type of proof that the thing that created the hash did exist.
Well, okay, let me try my hand at this. Making this pizza here. So those are both really good examples, and I probably would have just resorted on the example of the ID if you didn't knock that one out of the park. But yeah, basically to put this in the context of pizza, say you wanted to join PizzaDAO, but in order to join PizzaDAO, you have to prove that you love pizza. How do I know? May say I'm the arbiter of making this decision too. How do I know that you actually love pizza? Well, you could just walk in the room holding a pizza. I know you really love pizza.
Civil attack that pizza.
Yeah, there could be. I mean, there could be somebody outside making pizza, and you just grab one. You know, like you just want to get pizza now because we have, pizza and cool people. But there, basically, I just consult your Web3 wallet, and I say, and I look and say, do you hold the Rare Pizzas NFT? Well, if you hold the Rare Pizzas NFT, it's kind of hard to like, where'd you get that? Like, you gotta be an OG. So then I guess I'll kind of trust that you actually love pizza, but I don't need to know your name. I don't need to know your history of eating pizza. I don't need to know how many pizzas you bought last year. I just need to know that you hold this thing that proves that you love pizza, and that sort of represents the zero knowledge component, right? Like I don't need to know everything about you. I just need to know this one thing that proves that you love pizza. That's pretty much it. That's my summary.
And could you, like attach that to reputation, let's say. So you could prove your reputation without actually revealing your identity,
Yeah.
because I can prove that I've actually supported pizza in general, or I have certain NFTs.
Exactly. If you hold a rare pizza, NFT, then you're kind of an OG. Like you didn't just walk in off the street and pick that up like as you were coming in. Maybe you did, but you had to know somebody who knew somebody, right?
Right, but I wouldn't want somebody to see my ragu colored like jet blazer
Yeah.
out on the street and be like, oh, that's the guy that that's the guy that's got like 5
Yeah.
of these like original OG,
How do we prevent Sybil attacks?
or attacks on the street.
Oh.
This is San Francisco. Shit happens.
Well, first off, if you have pizza, that'll generally stop people from being violent.
If you have extra pizza.
Yeah. So I would say start there. Start there. But preventing, I mean, if you walk in with 5 pizzas, you may get 5 votes. I don't know how PizzaDAO exactly works, but okay, yeah. So if you make 5.
It's not even Snapshot. It's just Discord. I love it. That's actually in a way that could be more secure right now. It's not unstoppable. So just to get into, for people that are in DAOs on Discord, not just transacting in different dexes or whatever people happen to do, however you touch crypto. I'm sure there's like everybody comes to Web3 and crypto through a different pathway. But to speak to that, because I think it's valuable. It's unstoppable. I'm kind of toying with that right now, because if it's all on chain, if it's all snapshot, you can prove it because it's all written to the chain, whether it's an L2 or L1. You can say, this is what the organization says, or this is the vote that passed. If it's Discord, theoretically, Discord can get shut down, but then you have tokens, so you could resurrect elsewhere. So I've heard that the definition of a DAO is a tokenized organization. And I've often said, well, to myself and out loud, that's not true, because you could just have a DAO on Discord. But I guess the unstoppability, what's that? It's all chaos, but but then you could, if you could resurrect it, if it was truly unstoppable, that's a nice feature to have for, a global expansive organization. So I think that's really the goal of DAOs and organizations in Web3, is that everything you do can be replicated, resurrected, cloned, stored multiple places. It's not going to go away. No government can shut it down. Really, it's unstoppable. So that unstoppable nature is maybe the fourth leg of the stool in crypto.
Yeah, I think there was actually a cool example for that, which was from Personi Labs. They developed that application, which is called Hey Anon. And basically, it allows anyone who has been affected in 2016 by the DAO hack, which was like when the first investment DAO was formed, which was called the DAO, and it was hacked shortly after its formation.
And they actually forked Ethereum
and
to...
it led to Ethereum's hard fork, exactly. And yeah, basically there is now sort of this community aspect around that, for anyone whose wallets were affected by that back then can now kind of claim membership of it's not necessarily a DAO, but like Hey Anon basically allows people to like tell their story on like a Twitter profile, where you create a zero knowledge proof that you were indeed affected without giving away your exact wallet, right? Because when you were like that early already in crypto and you were affected by that hack, means you're a massive whale probably. So you might not want to give away who exactly you are or what your wallet is, but you can kind of prove that, yes, indeed, I have been affected by this. And then you can share your story of the hack. And yeah, I think it's a cool way of kind of having these immutable communities basically on chain. Yeah.
It would be great if we had that for FTX's creditors.
Yeah, true.
So we have another 40 minutes-ish before we start having to clear the space. But now we're going to move into the fishbowl aspect, and happy to give up my seat. If anybody wants to come up, because we're not experts. I think we would all attest to the fact that we're not experts, and we're experts at the same time. So let's just not be experts. But if anybody would like to come up, raise your hand, come grab this now empty, you can get a full one too, this token from this table, and invite yourself up to the panel.
Come and join us.
Yeah.
Don't be shy.
Yeah. Let's talk
We
about
might run out of things to talk about.
We can talk about pizza all day. We got one person coming up at least.
We could. No,
Mostly
you can't
pizza.
chill your shit. Okay, that's one requirement. No, come on, come up. Grab the token, the aluminum token. Is that the empty one? Yeah. And come on up. Introduce here. Just grab a mic from someone. Okay. And I'm happy to give up my seat, and I'm wired, so we'll give you a microphone, and I can just heckle from the sidelines.
What do you have to say? Welcome to the
I
panel.
don't have anything to say.
But you use the microphone.
Do you love pizza?
I really like pizza. It was a good
Cool.
pizza
So
today.
start.
I got a bit surprised by the bacon on one of the pizzas. Didn't think it was bacon.
Good surprise or
What
bad
did you
surprise?
think it
I'm
was?
vegetarian, so it's not good. So
I think it was fake bacon. It was fake. It was like
Okay,
Android pig. It
let's say that. Yeah.
was an AI pig.
Let's say that.
Yeah,
I
I
think
was
I-
the
I
eggplant.
heard the story about this T-shirt. I think it was pretty
Oh.
cool. I think you should share that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
okay.
You want to stand up and
I got this shirt on Metafactory, so it's 1 of 5. It's not an actual, so I don't own like an NFT to represent the shirt. The shirt is the NFT, I guess. So there's Metafactory is like it's a, I guess, kind of decentralized marketplace. I think you still need to get approved if you're like an artist, but essentially artists can go and just put their art up on there, right? So this was created by a rare designer. Never met him. Have no idea who this person is, but I thought this T-shirt was really cool. It's a mutant pineapple. And I met one of the other founders of PizzaDAO Snacks, and told me that my PizzaDAO name is now Pineapple Vega because my favorite movie is Pulp Fiction. So,
but what do? Yeah, I think that's we could actually. Does everybody know what their PizzaDAO name is?
figure that out.
All right. Well, so let's give the instructions. You led
Right.
me through it.
All right,
and,
everyone, I want you to all respond at the same time. What's your favorite pizza topping?
mushrooms.
Pepperoni.
Okay, that was most of the room. That was most of the room. And again, same time.
Remember what you said, though.
Yeah, I remember what you said. Same time. What's your favorite mobster movie?
Godfather.
What's
People
a
are like, I don't like
lobster
mobster
movie?
movies, but like a mafia, like a.
Mafia movie.
But
like,
do people need to
Oh,
like?
like a
Maybe it's a
movie.
character because
Yeah.
it resolved into
Okay.
characters.
That was the question I got.
Like I was mushroom Godfather. What did that translate into?
He's the mushroom godfather. I don't know,
Maybe.
Shrimp. You got to help me here. You got to help me here, Shrimp.
That one fits actually really well.
We've gotten official in the ring.
All right, I'll come up here. One of the real interesting things about what Snacks specifically did differently than other DAOs is he created this thing called the Nameless, which Oniforce took credit for, but it was actually all done in PizzaDAO. What we did is when they came into the Discord, we wiped their name and made them choose a new name, right? So everyone who came in had an identity, or like myself, I didn't have an identity, or I used my real name, since in the film industry, we use our real name. And suddenly you're thrust into this world where you're talking to a pepperoni, or you're talking to a mushroom.
Oh, Mushroom Mario. That's my name.
Yeah,
Probably for Puzo, right? The writer of The Godfather.
right, right.
Mario Puzo. Yeah, that's why he came up with Mario. It's like I know Francis Ford, but that's too long. Sorry.
Coppola.
Go
Yeah,
on.
well, yeah, I mean, he likes wine, so he could always go with a fine vintage. But the very interesting aspect of that was, well, for lack of a better word, indoctrinating a cohort of people that would join randomly, and then we'd all decide on a name and then put them to work. And that has really kind of perpetuated the way the DAO has retained and now grown and even extended beyond the small little Discord that was originally created, was allowing them a way to like capture something that was theirs and also be a part of kind of the mission of where it was headed.
Do you feel like other DAOs could copy that and with success?
Yes, 100%. In fact, OniForce, there were a couple of projects that spawned off of Rare Pizzas. OniForce, the Fly Frogs, Frogland, which I was a part of, or I am a part of, and a few others. And they instituted a couple of things. They instituted the nameless, which is you come in and you have a new name. And they also instituted whitelisting, which was also one of the things that we did at PizzaDAO that no one had done before, which is basically building out a list of addresses that could pre-mint, before the actual mint. And then kind of the community aspect, starting it off with a song that was very much a snacks thing, which really brought everyone together at the beginning, or at the beginning and at the end, and then a call to action at the end, which is like and subscribe. We need to see more Twitter, blah blah blah. Give them something that they can do that's easy and that helps perpetuate the message.
Where did the turtles come in?
Oh, well, that's because snacks is from that era. Yeah.
Ninja Turtles.
yes,
we
Ninja
have to
Turtles.
clarify.
Ninja Turtles were definitely. Well, everything is meme based in let's say the non-Pepe style, but it's based in the way that you can kind of come in, you can identify with it, and then make it your own and create something new. So, what was really interesting about PizzaDAO as it was forming were these ideas that would pop up, such as building a video game and then making a video game cabinet that I think it was Don Jalapeno's. That was a jalapenos. It was green peppers. Jalapeno. He's a maker down in L.A. Just for trivia, he was on like Make Magazine #3, making blimps, and he and I connected together, and we started building his omakases, which are those crazy characters made out of all the art from the characters, or from the pizza ingredients. Anyway, so the DAO encourages you to make something your own, but contribute back to it in the form of either it's a callback, or it's an action, or it's using the art that is both permissionless and asks for some attribution.
I think we should. I don't know. Snacks is probably there. I don't know which town we're looking at, but there's a Zoom going on, and I think Pizza Party, the Bitcoin Pizza Party, is happening in about 85 cities or so right now. It's actually one down in San Jose. So if you came up here from San Jose, sorry.
It's happening in 85 cities right now, or like
right now,
over the
right?
past 24
Well,
hours?
this evening, today.
Yeah.
So if you're on the East Coast, that might be a later pizza party, but we've got a lot of them up on Zoom also. So come wave to the Zoom.
I gotta get a
Maybe
pic
Jeffrey
of
will
me.
bring the Zoom around, and maybe bring it to everybody to wave and say hi, and I think maybe it's there's like the Letterman or somebody had this thing like your brush with fame. So I was gonna say like my brush with PizzaDAO was meeting Snacks at a party that he was part of at NFT NYC this year. I was in New York. I did not go to NFT NYC. Sorry, NFT NYC this year. But I met Snacks, and the Ninja Turtles were there. It was like in this rare car, like they were selling Bentleys, and we were partying amongst the Bentleys, and you name it. And there was lots of pizza.
They made like a sign, and they put it on top of the Lambos, right?
Right. It was like to turn the Lambos.
Pizza delivery.
Exactly.
You scratch
PizzaDAO
it, you buy it
delivery.
now, yeah.
So what's everybody's like brush with PizzaDAO fame? That was my introduction. That's how I met Snacks. Followed up, Guy's an animal and a machine. Like I like to say I am, but I think Snacks, you're more of a machine than I am, and just getting shit done. And then he was like, let's do the pizza party, and one thing led to another. We're all here. Shit happens.
Yeah, I've never heard of the Snacks guy, but I've met Shrimp once
Where?
on a panel.
Oh, on this panel?
Yeah.
All right.
Not even a year ago. You mean like 10 minutes ago.
10 seconds ago.
That's nice.
I thought you said you were hanging out with Snacks
Yeah, I already
in,
told
in
that story.
Denver. Okay. Do you have any brush with? Did you meet Shrimp 2 minutes ago?
No, like I know these guys from an event Saturday, but I actually didn't know about PizzaDAO before a few days ago, actually. But I think it's really cool to see DAOs that are not too serious. I feel like many DAOs, they have a very serious purpose, which is also needed for some of the DAOs. But it's also like sometimes we just need to have fun, right? Sometimes we need to just try and experiment with things and see how it goes. And doing that with some fun pizzas, that's good. Yeah.
Let's see, my brush with fame. I would say my Web3 existence is completely attributable to the really hard work that was put in with Rare Pizzas. Don Love, who I have a stand up with him daily for another project, an amazing individual. Snacks, of course, sings praises. But who's really supporting Snacks is Amber. She's always there helping him out. She is amazing. Don Valare, who like single-handedly built most of the pizza oven, is probably one of the smartest Web3 developers out there. For those of you that don't know, so the pizza oven is a live minting machine, right? And the way that it works is when you buy, when you convert a box to be a pizza, it spawns off a process that goes into the cloud, and it looks up a table of all the ingredients. There's 314 ingredients, right? And on the ingredients list, which was constructed by Jalapeno Peppers, is a table of contents of all of the nutritional ingredients of each one of those ingredients. So mozzarella cheese is like high in fat, right? And then you have shrimp, which is like high in meat. And then as those ingredients are selected, they go into a visual effects compositing pipeline, which I built, that bakes them down into the pizza based off of all of the physical attributes. So like the physical aspects, like if it's high in fat, it actually burn the edges and it'll crisp it. Like shrimp will not change much, but then you have some of the others that will completely morph. Then there's a slicing algorithm. It's actually set up so that you can slice each pizza piece and then reconstitute it later if that ever gets built. It's completely algorithmic. And that was built by Pizza Pinata, SplatMap. And some of the individuals that put effort into that particular DAO are like some of the brightest in the industry. And it's hard to see that, when you come to an event, right? And all that technology that's just constantly running in the cloud. But my brush with fame is walking among them and being able to learn in this industry.
That's amazing.
So tell us a little bit more about the oven is a contract of sorts.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to be stepping into technology bounds that I probably shouldn't be stepping into. The oven. Okay, so it's set up like a real pizza shop. You submit an order to the kitchen. The kitchen receives the order, then looks into its bins to see what are the available ingredients for that particular recipe that you pick.
And are those ingredients, are they NFTs? What's
so
everything's a token in this?
No, not
scenario.
yet. Not yet.
And I thought we were just going with
the
metaphors.
ingredients.
It's true.
Okay, so there are a couple of unlaunched phases of this project. One is which you will get unpackaged ingredients, but with the nutritional label as an NFT. That hasn't been published yet. And now I realize that I need to get on that project. Then there's the other one, which is the slicing.
But also, don't tell us anything that's proprietary.
No. The slicing. No. The slicing where you can slice up a pizza and it'll literally put it on a plate. And so you can fractionalize the contract. And then you can trade the plates and then reconstitute the plates back into their original pizza position, but from different pizzas. It's all set up and designed to do that, but it just hasn't been developed because it's really expensive and takes all of our times, and we have to like coordinate really complicated things.
And what happens if you do reconstitute it? Do you just get the
Then you would
reconstituted, or do you get
you
something
could
like
trade like
hyper
half a
special?
Doge for like half a shrimp for like half a I don't know, pesto only, right? And the rare ingredients could end up on a slice, and then you would have like a very rare slice. I
But
think
when you put
Yeah.
the slices back together, are they then translated into a new NFT that is like the entire pizza?
TBD. TBD.
It's all
I-
possible.
Yeah,
right?
I think the point is like as you're structuring DAOs and as you're structuring like engagements in the future, like think of all of these like ways that you can engage your audience, your membership. You know, audience comes in and wants to like have a pizza. But I think the trick is with especially with NFTs is like once you've minted this thing, what are different ways that people can contribute, right? So I think it's still on PizzaDAO to figure out ways that we can make a phase 2 or a next step for pizza. So all of you fine folks that I'm sure are fine artists or devs can still contribute and not just enjoy the pizza and come to a panel. And that's a trick. I mean, that's something that I don't think we have figured out yet.
Would there be any concerns? So you mentioned that you are whitelisting members so that they can buy the NFTs before everyone else. Would there be any concerns with that in terms of allowing some people in before others?
Yes, and in fact, I think the one reason that Rare Pizzas didn't become a multi-million-dollar NFT project is someone was gaming the algorithm, and we found a hacker, and we shut it down a week into the launch, and we never really recovered from. So the lesson that we learned there was like, if a hacker's going to hack, let them hack because it just means that it's popular. But to gain back that momentum is incredibly hard. So like launches are like a one-time thing and it's one and done. And then you're living with whatever trajectory you have at that particular velocity.
Just to make sure I understood, so the hacker was getting on the whitelist and buying a lot of tokens, or what were he?
Oh, I didn't answer your question. There's always a potential of a hacker. And so Don Villare, who wrote the pizza oven, I did the art for the pizzas and the boxes. He works in how do I put this? He builds for his day job an unhackable voting machine commissioned by Microsoft going into the primaries and built based on crypto, next level stuff. I mean, it's crazy stuff that he's doing. And he works for a Washington, D.C. consulting firm. He was the one that detected the hacker in the first place. And the way we have gone into crypto launches now is like we pray for a hacker because that just means that someone is interested enough to exploit you. And then if they exploit you, there's probably going to be a whole nother ecosystem that will maybe open you up to buyers that you might not have had access to. Not to say keep exploits happening, but it's not always a bad thing.
So
So
you
just
didn't
like,
need to buy the token, like the token was free.
Well, I was just gonna, analogy. You know how all news is good news. Like all hacks maybe are good hacks.
Right.
Maybe not all.
But
All attention during a launch, maybe.
the other thing I just want to throw out there, because it's frivolous, is I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard that pizza, it's settled case law that pizza is a commodity and not a security.
It is definitely not a security. There's nothing secure in pizza at all. It is all consumable. There was a pretty funny moment when we met with the lawyer the first time, and we told them that we wanted to have a vote per box, and it was like red flags, fireworks, like no. So we took a very cautious approach because we wanted this to be long term. We have an official accountant out of Wyoming. We're incorporated out of Wyoming. We want to convert this to a public benefit company. We want this to live on. Even the slogan "Art to Pizza" or "Art to Table" food pipeline was intended in a way to like convert the surplus that we have in crypto to something that's consumable that people can enjoy. And it's not just about feeding our own, it's it's feeding everybody. And food has a tremendous amount of weight. And we
French
should
had let them eat cake.
yeah.
We have let them eat pizza.
And there's even a frog legs on the pizza.
Get pepper frog legs.
Yeah. He was very active in the first round.
Go for it.
Yeah. All right. So I got a little segue here. That was.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's actually I can't believe I forgot this story earlier. Who's been to ETH Denver? Anybody here been to ETH Denver? Was anybody ETH Denver 2022? Was anybody at the International Church of Cannabis for the PizzaDAO party?
Oh yeah.
I can't believe I forgot this story. I mean, maybe I was at the International Church of Cannabis. Maybe that's why. But yeah, that was actually my PizzaDAO fame story. That was my first crypto conference. I was promoting the Data Marketplace DAO, Cannabis Genome DAO, which is a spinoff from my former company. And I was an advisor to the CannaDAO at the time, who was sponsoring the party. So we were producing DAO Denver 2022, and ended up basically obtaining it was a large amount of cannabis in Denver.
But it was all legal in states where it was legal.
It was in Denver. But we brought it into the club and prepared it for the party.
That was awesome. So I didn't go, but the back room in the PizzaDAO, we were like, should we do this? Like,
Yeah. Is that
pizza,
a topping?
I mean, it seems like a perfect marriage, like cannabis and pizza. Like, is this? We thought about it for a second. And
Just
like,
the
okay, all thumbs
opposite.
up.
It's like usually it's the munchies and then the pizza.
Yeah.
In this
So
case,
we had like a couple 100 eighth baggies, and we like filled them all up at the place, and we brought them over to the International Church, and we airdropped all these things on the party. So we airdropped all these, and they were NF trees. Little things, NF trees.
Like a physical airdrop, throwing it up in the air.
Yeah. Well, we like put them all over tables and like handed them out to people. Yeah, I mean, some people were throwing them. But yeah, I was one of the people behind the airdrop.
That's awesome.
At the pizza party.
That's awesome.
and then one more plug. So Elijah and I know each other because we're both core team members of DAO Planet, which is it's up on the sign. Okay, we forgot the DAO Planet, and we're helping just by our sweat, our elbow grease into this event. We're like, hey, shill DAO Planet a little bit. We create DAO Denver, so definitely in the DAO space. And how can you? I think I mentioned early on, how can we build organizations using this technology? And PizzaDAO, obviously, everybody going at it different ways. I think the token, I'm hesitant to call them the tokenomics, but the token mechanics of the community is a really interesting thing. So that's why I was really curious about how does that work within your organization? Because I think those are the things that can make or break a DAO. And I think DAOs are, I'll just give a little bit of my 2 cents, is that the ones that survive will survive because they produce valuable goods and services, or they produce communities that are strong and vibrant and can withstand whatever ups and downs the actual token value might happen to have at any moment.
I'd love to give you some insight, and then maybe this might be of value of anyone looking to start a DAO, because they can be tricky legally, right? Who's responsible? Is it just you by name on a Discord server, or is it like, are they going to track you down? What we did at PizzaDAO was we created an LLC, but it was backwards. It was an incredibly expensive endeavor from hiring a lawyer standpoint. But what we did was we created an LLC where you have your let me see if I get this right. Your members, or your managers, the kind of the fiduciarily owners, the 3 of us. But we can't actually make decisions. we have the managers make the decisions in the LLC. So you actually have to go to the board in like a corporate structure to get the decision made in order to execute the decision. The members can't, the managers can't. I'm sorry, members can't. Boy, so who's got good in LLC? Come on. Yeah. Anyway, the non-owners can't make the decision, but they can recommend the decision, and then the owners can execute the decision. And it's opposite from a standard LLC. If any of you want to know more, hit up Snacks. He'd probably be happy to share it with you. It was very unique, and it allowed us to kind of skirt a lot of the responsibility issues that come up with a DAO being a legal entity for protection. So you kind of want that protection, because we were serving people food, and they're like, well, you don't want to serve people food and someone die, right?
Mhm. And then you're
Because
personally
gonna all
liable.
be screwed. So you need to be protected from a legal standpoint. And we're like, that's great, but 3 people can't make the decision. So we need a board. How does a board work in an LLC? And so we came up with this very novel kind of legal structure to do that.
That's not just covered under D&O insurance, killing people with pizza.
Shove enough down their throat. Maybe they'll be allergic to shrimp or something.
At what point do you need to create a company for a DAO? Sure, when you're serving food, but most DAOs are not serving food. Are there any other reasons to create a company?
I know you could always move to the Bahamas.
Just
you
you,
know-
not the company.
I don't really have a recommendation on that. I would say that we're in a very unique position just because we convert this Ethereum thing into a consumable thing, and there's a lot of logistics and liability in that. I would think that it's up to every DAO to consider their risk. One thing we found is that we were largely based in the US at the time, so it made a lot of sense. The more diverse geographically you are, the less it makes sense to be organized in that manner, or to be organized in a crypto friendly place. Like Wyoming right now is the most crypto friendly for the US.
Is pizza free in Wyoming?
No, but taxes are.
They're getting there. They're getting there. Okay, they're getting there. They're getting there.
We have about 10 minutes. Would anybody else like to speak? Yes, please. Come on, take this spot. Because I have a wired mic, so you can't really kick me off permanently. Check. Here, we got another mic. Just hold it close.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you. So I just wanted to give my snack story because I really appreciate him. I think so we make our cosmic sparkling wine. I just followed him on Twitter one day, and he wrote me and said, do you want to, bring your wine to a pizza party? And so now we've done 3 events with him. We did ETH Denver, we did Consensus recently, and we did NFT NYC. And we just love how you
And
guys
hopefully you
are
do DAO Denver.
DAO Denver. Next year we'll all go to Bitcoin Miami. I wish we could have been there last week. But yeah, we just love how the PizzaDAO is basically making phygital goods like we are. So tokenizing wine, tokenizing experiences, bringing people together to have pizza and hang out and just like be together in real physical reality is really great. So yeah, I just wanted to give Snacks a shout out. And because it is Bitcoin Pizza Day, I just wanted to say how bullish I am on Bitcoin.
Well, the halving's coming up.
Right? And just how we're all experimenting right now and coming up with ideas of how to work together and accelerate the Bitcoin economy. So let's just all get together and figure this out, because the only way it's going to happen is if we all work together, and then we also start to incorporate Bitcoin into our real lives, and buying wine for Bitcoin, buying pizza for Bitcoin, just little things like that in our daily lives. That's how we're going to do it. So yeah. Ribbit.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, is there any
Yay.
questions? Give us questions.
Sure.
So, okay, just a really quick backstory on the wine. So, Sevi and I came up with this idea under a full moon one night in Malibu. So, we love drinking sparkling wine under the full moon. So, that's why our wine is all harvested under the full moon. It's biodynamic. We had this idea we just wanted to make a futuristic wine company. So, the first thing was doing this like futuristic can and then accepting Bitcoin for it, Ethereum. There was an ecosystem called Sora, which was a parachain project on the Polkadot ecosystem. And they were very supportive of us. Like 2019 into DeFi summer, super supportive. We're buying our wine with Zor, their token, and we were shipping it all over the world. And so their community was like, "We're here for you if you need anything." And so our next innovation was we wanted to tokenize a physical bottle. So we wanted to create a super rare limited edition bottle, Method Traditional Sparkling Rosé. And so we tokenized it with Sora. So it's in the Polkadot ecosystem. And yeah, we just minted the tokens. We created a DApp. So you can go to noir.digital and buy our tokens, sell it. And if you redeem it, we burn the token and we send you a bottle of wine. So how many bottles have we sold already? 40 redemptions. A lot of people are hodling because it's dynamically priced. Like we were really inspired by Unisocks, which was a phygital product on Uniswap. So that was our inspiration. So it's been a fun experiment, but now we're thinking about the next bottle, the next products, like how we're gonna do it. And we're really excited about Bitcoin just in general, like stacks. Like we met some stacks people at Consensus, and just super bullish on people building dApps and projects on Bitcoin. So we're learning about that right now and figuring out how to do that. So hopefully the next bottle is on Bitcoin.
Cool.
Just that rare 2019 bottle. Yeah, so 777 of those. And we work with a really incredible winemaker in the San Rita Hills, like award-winning winemaker. And so he'll do the next bottle. And yeah.
Could you go through the process of tokenizing? Like, how do you tokenize something physical?
How do we tokenize? Well, we minted the tokens on PolkaSwap, which is a DEX built on the Sora network. So you can mint any token. You can create a token, create the tokenomics for it, as long as you create the liquidity pool, which we did. And then, that's how we did it, and building the DApp.
So when we're drinking this wine, are we then burning the NFTs at the same time?
Not this one, not the can, the bottles, yes.
This is just gas. This is fuel.
Yeah,
Is
this
there-
fuel.
there's no NFTs for these.
So
This is the Gwei.
Yeah, so
Well,
these
actually, there's not, because there's only actually 8,000 cases left of this.
so these have a QR code, but that just goes to your website or something. I get the other one might have like something that goes to like an actual token, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So are they
absolutely.
serialized? Or do they have a serial number for each bottle?
Yes. So
Okay.
when you redeem it, we send you your bottle, and then we also send an NFT that has your bottle number, proving authenticity and ownership. And
what do you
Club
think people
membership.
will do in terms of like, so at some point maybe they want to drink the wine?
Yeah.
Do they keep the NFT and can they then sell the NFT or?
they can keep the NFT. They can definitely drink, and we actually have several noir whales who love to drink pop bottles all the time.
Yeah.
Shout out Hefe. But you can keep the NFT for sure. And you'll always be a Noir Club member. I actually spoke on a panel at Davos last year, and 2 people got into Davos because they had a Noir Club NFT. So I snuck them in.
Nice.
So we just any kind of like parties in the future. If you've redeemed a bottle, you can come.
I feel like there could be a way to sort of like, so normally when you buy very expensive champagne bottles, you usually like to do it at a very expensive club in front of a lot of people, right? Could be interesting to explore if there's some kind of way to sort of like burn an NFT in a club
Like
in
a
front of a
flaming
lot of
bottle?
people and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
be like, oh yeah, we just
Burn it
Yeah,
pouring-
that's amazing.
Just like people burn cash at clubs.
Yeah.
And
just burning some money here.
I love it. That's a good idea.
Yeah, you should make like maybe a website or something like that, or
Burn the bottle.
maybe a way to share it on social media when you burn an NFT.
That's a good idea.
That could be
That's
fun.
really good.
Yeah,
With the bottle girls.
yeah.
Let's do
have you
it.
looked at doing NFCs in in I know in a lot of products they'll
Yeah.
sew NFC chips in,
Yeah.
because then that can be tied to the NFT.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna work on some luxury sportswear, and that would be cool to incorporate it into some sort of like luxury hoodie or something. But
You could
yeah, I
probably
love
plant
that.
it in the cork or something.
Oh,
You
you
could-
mean? Oh yeah, you know
you
for
could
sure.
put, yeah, with the bottle.
That's
so
really cool.
the serial number and
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
chip, so it can't be
Yeah.
as easily spoofed. You can put the,
Mm.
you can put like a
Even a
private key in the NFC.
Sticker on the bottle too. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, because there's a lot of fake wines out there. So there's a lot of forgeries, and so
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
do
if it's-
something similar to like
You have a
an access key
$270
fob.
million bottle of wine.
Exactly. It's true.
You could do something similar to an access key fob, because normally if it's just a normal NFC chip, it's just the same as a barcode. There's
Yeah.
nothing secret
Ah.
about it. But if you do it similarly to a key fob that you use to get into a house or something like that, then you would not reveal necessarily the ID. You would just give
Oh.
access, and you would be able to verify it. That's interesting stuff to look into.
Nice.
If you're interested, we have some consultants on the panel that will increase the value of your.
Will work for wine. I almost
Yeah.
just spoken to, I
Oh,
spoken to the
really?
wrong one.
I just want to burn NFTs.
Yeah, I love that.
So as a product guy, I was struck by your case,
Thank
or
you.
your container. Can you talk a little bit about the design decisions that
Yes,
went into this?
absolutely. So yeah, I used to design for Nike. I'm an industrial designer, and so just a side note, I love how like Snacks is keeping it cool and anti-corporate. So we wanted to start our own brand, but we wanted an iconic logo, similar to like a feeling that a swoosh gives you, or a cross or a star. And so our noir symbol represents the sparkles in the wine, the stars it's harvested under, and then the ring is liquidity. Yeah. And just think, and the silver can, all silver, was just our idea of something you would see in like Blade Runner or like an anime movie.
Well, I also like the economy of just taking a blank and decorating a blank.
Yeah,
And there's something very simple in that, and not
Mhm.
putting your own label on it, but
Thank
actually
you.
at first I was like, is this embossed? Is
Yes.
this pressed?
It's embossed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it took me a moment to like deconstruct how it was made.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
pretty cool.
Thank you.
How much does it cost
So
to
don't
produce
throw
one of
don't
the
throw
cans?
away your can, because these are worth at least
Currently like $3.
$3.
Yeah.
a redemption value of.
Yeah. Hold on.
It's at least like your POAP for coming.
For sure.
Yeah.
Or 10. I don't know what it is. Is there redemption value on the can
On the
at the store? Can we like
Should say.
for the aluminum?
That's a good idea.
By law,
Oh,
there
yeah,
probably
yeah,
is.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, there is.
I was also going to ask if anyone, because this is what it's all about, is networking and the serendipity of anyone
See, that's why there's background noise, because everybody's going up to have
getting
some
a can now.
Like, we're all enjoying
You can also
this.
go
Get a
to
can.
There's a great marketing guy right over there behind that pillar. If you want to talk to him,
He's hiding.
he's
Oh,
hiding.
Oh, come on. You know,
His name-
do you
his name's-
know,
Here,
you're
Elliot.
calling
come
him
on up.
out, Elliot. Come on.
Yeah.
You can kick somebody. You just need an empty can. Anybody with an empty can can come up and boot somebody off the panel. Yeah, you're going to take a seat. This is Elliot. Elliot, good to meet you.
Good to meet you as well.
Steve,
Hello.
DAO of Steve in some circles. So what should we know about you?
I've worked in product and marketing.
nice.
I've known Anthony from working in at Penumbra doing VR for stroke rehab and Parkinson's rehab, so VR in the healthcare space.
Wow.
I had no idea what I was coming here for today. I was
Or
just,
what you're getting yourself into.
I
For
had
the
no clue,
panel.
so
Yeah, that's the fun.
yeah. So nice to meet you all. I came in at 8 o'clock and just kind of vibing with everybody. So
Does anybody have questions for Anthony? Oh, Elliot. Sorry.
Do you love pizza?
I do love pizza.
Yeah.
I've asked every panelist that.
I love dessert pizza.
What's your favorite topping?
Not enough dessert
pizza?
pizzas at these things.
Any topping for any pizza?
I'm just a fan of pepperoni. I'm a
Pepperoni. Okay.
guy,
What's your
yeah.
favorite gangster movie?
favorite gangster movie? Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Okay. So pepperoni.
You should mention an actor from one of the roles from Goodfellas.
Oh, Ray Liotta.
Yeah, Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
Then
So pepperoni Leota.
Pepperoni Leonia.
Spicy Ray.
Spicy Ray. I like Spicy Ray.
Okay.
That's your pizza down there.
Spicy
Spicy Ray.
Hey, Spicy Ray.
I've
Do you
joined
have
the
any
Discord.
NFTs?
I do not.
No.
I've talked to him about it a couple of times, but other than that, it's mostly over my head.
Okay.
So does this AR would you tell us about what you're doing for disabled, and is that touching on AI?
Not quite. We've done a lot of game development, Anthony and I, so he and I together made a game for orthopedic rehab. So Virtual Athletic Club is what it's called, and basically what you're trying to do is utilize the upper body
How do we bring this home?
to when you have a shoulder injury, how do you get the shoulder back to working again? And so he and I worked on the game together where there's boxing, ping pong, and what was the third one? Boxing, ping pong, archery.
Is it in VR?
It is in VR.
Cool. I tried the VR boxing on Quest 2.
Phenomenal.
It was really great. It's a good workout. It's
Yeah,
a good
for sure.
workout. Yeah.
That's
Done
what
it.
we want to get
Done
to.
it, yeah, done a lot of times. It's actually very good.
Yeah.
So there's several boxing games on VR.
Mhm.
The reason I like this one over the other ones is that they don't make it easy.
Oh,
for you.
Anne Marie.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, they make it realistic.
That's precisely what
Yeah,
we're trying to do. with
yeah.
that, yeah.
And that's I think is key to make it a sport.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think we're devolving here, which is a good thing, because it's also after 8 o'clock, and I know we need to clear out. So I think we officially end at 8. But do you want to come up and say a word, or two, or three?
House
No,
of
but use the
Web3.
microphone. We need a microphone.
Hello, I'm Trish, and I manage the House of Web3. If you guys
Woo!
are
Anyway, thank you,
interested-
Trish. Thank you, Trish.
Thank you.
If you guys are interested in coming to co-work out of the House of Web3, we are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And it's for people that are in Web3, so you can come co-work with people that are like-minded like yourself. We do ask that you go onto our website and fill out the form, and then we'll get back to you shortly after that. And also, if you're interested in having an event here, please come see me. I do manage all the events as well.
Woo! Thank you, Trish. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Did everybody have a good time? Say, people. Oh, you know what we need? We need a picture of everybody. So everybody, come on up.
Yeah.
We're gonna get everybody get in front of these, people here, these chairs. Who wants to shoot? We should get some shots. Put it up here.
What do you think about the wine product?